At 24, with nothing but an oversized Ghana must-go bag and dreams larger than Third Mainland Bridge, Amaka landed a job as a house help for the Denugas, a wealthy family in Lekki. Amaka's story didn't start in luxury. She was born in the heart of Ajegunle, Lagos, where the streets knew no peace and the gutters knew no shame. Her family home had more holes in a roof than a sieve, and her favorite childhood toy was an old radio that didn't even work. Yet, she always dreamed big: designer shoes, champagne brunches, and vacations in Dubai. Her reality: garri and groundnuts for lunch, but that didn't stop her imagination from running wild. From day one, she took mental notes. "So this is what luxury smells like," she whispered, caressing the marble kitchen counter like it was gold. But what struck her most wasn't just the wealth, it was the untapped opportunity. With an iPhone 7 her boss's son had abandoned, Amaka transformed into Queen Amilux, an online goddess who wore heels in the kitchen and posed by the swimming pool like she owned it. She wasn't just pretending to be rich, she was influencing without consent. She would sneak photos on the boss lady's staircase and caption them, "Home sweet home, Lucky life chose me." Her followers, envious. Her reality, mopping tiles before sunrise. But one thing was certain: Amaka wasn't going to die poor, at least not online. Amaka's double life was like a well-rehearsed movie. Every morning, before her madam woke up, she would put on her boss's unused wig, sneak into the guest room closet and pick a dress that screamed, "Yes, queen." She would set the timer on the iPhone and strike poses like she was walking the wrong way at Milan Fashion Week. When Madam Ifeoma shouted, "Amaka, where is my tea?" she would quickly change back into her faded Ankara wrapper and respond with, "Come in, ma," like nothing just happened. The mansion gave her all the background she needed. Infinity pool? Check. Marble floors? Check. Chandeliers that could blind the sun? Double check. Her captions were legendary. "Lazy mornings in my private lounge," or "Sometime I just need to unwind in my second living room." Her followers believed she was a boss lady, a rich girl with expensive taste, and a housekeeper of her own. The irony. The family had no idea. Madam Ifeoma thought Amaka was too timid to even operate a smartphone, and Mr. Denuga barely noticed anyone who wasn't on his business calls. Their daughter Zina was always too busy filming TikToks to notice someone sneaking in a photo shoot. As for Tunde, the cheeky 18-year-old son, he once caught Amaka wearing his sister's wig in the mirror. "What are you doing with Zina's wig?" Tunde asked, one leg ready to tell Zina what he saw. "I'm trying to kill a rat that is hiding inside the wig," Amaka replied, and Tunde didn't ask further as he was scared of rats. Sometimes, Amaka wondered if she was overdoing it, especially when people started tagging her in inspo posts. But the thrill was too good to stop. She lived for the likes, the DMs, the comments. Her page had become her escape from reality. Little did she know reality was coming. Front seats, popcorn ready. It was a sunny Saturday morning, and Madam Ifeoma was already stressed. NEPA had struck again, and the generator had started making that annoying sputtering noise. Amaka was humming a song while scrubbing the floor. Her wig for the day carefully tucked away behind the washing machine. She had plans to do a mini photo shoot later by the boss's Benz when the family goes out for their usual Saturday evening outing. Amaka was mopping the veranda when a voice boomed from the gate. Amaka walked towards the gate to open it before Okoro the gateman came out. "Na who dey knock like say dem be police?" Okoro the gateman mumbled. He opened the gate to reveal a tall, flashy lady wearing oversized shades and carrying a Louis Vuitton bag that looked a bit too real. It was Auntie Lizzie, Madame Ifoma's childhood friend and professional gossip queen. She had come to visit unannounced as usual. Is that not Queen Amilocks? Auntie Lizzie screamed, pointing straight at Amaka. Amaka froze, made squats, mop in hand, wearing a worn-out Ankara and her hair sticking out like confused wires. She blinked twice, hoping this was hallucination, but no. Auntie Lizzie was already rushing towards her with arms wide open. My influencer queen, I follow you on Instagram. You dey pepper us on a steady. Me, pepper who? Amaka asked as her heart was pounding like a Fuji drum. Madame Ifoma, who had just come out to welcome her friend, stared in confusion. Wait, Lizzie, are you saying this is that social media girl you always talk about? Auntie Lizzie didn't wait. She opened her phone, pulled up Queen Amilocks' page and turned the screen around. There was Amaka, smiling like a millionaire beside the same staircase Madame Ifoma was currently standing on. Silence fell. Amaka swallowed air like a mosquito had flown in her mouth. This was the beginning of wahala. Madame Ifoma's face twisted. She snatched Auntie Lizzie's phone and zoomed in on the pictures. This is my sitting room. That's my wine shelf. Ha! Jesus of Lekki. Amaka slowly placed the mop buckets down and stood straight, trying not to faint. I can explain. Explain what? That you've turned my house into your personal photo shoot studio? So all those times you asked to clean the balcony were for what? #vacation vibes? Auntie Lizzie wasn't helping matters. She was giggling and scrolling, pausing on a post where Amaka wore Madame Ifoma's red heels and captioned it, "When you walk in wealth, poverty disappears." This is like film trick, muttered Tunde, who had just walked in. So our house help is more famous than all of us combined. Amaka stared, sweating like she was in a sauna. Ma, please, I didn't mean harm. I just wanted to belong, to feel among. Life is hard. Madam, nobody looks you twice if you are poor. Then go and be invisible quietly. You are online forming boss babe, while I'm here thinking you don't even know how to press a phone. Madame Ifoma backed. As the shouting escalated, Zina strolled downstairs with a bowl of cereal, laughing as she watched the drama unfold. Mom, you should see the one where she was floating in a pool like it's her backyard in Banana Island. Amaka covered her face. Please, I beg, don't disgrace me. I just wanted to feel like the people I see online. But it was already too late. Tunde, curious and mischievous, had already started recording the entire scene on his phone. Every plea, every excuse, and in his mind, he thought, this one will go viral for sure. Amaka's moment of clout was about to be served cold and raw. Later that evening, Amaka sat quietly in the boys' quarters, her arms wrapped around her knees. Her face was puffy from crying. The entire house had gone quiet, but the tension still hung in the air like a wet bedsheet. Madame Ifoma hadn't said another word after the shouting match. She simply told Amaka to go to her quarters and stay there before she does something she will regret. Unbeknownst to her, Tunde's video had already taken flight. The teenager, addicted to mischief and social media, had posted it on his TikTok with the caption, "Queen Amilocks' fake celebrity life exposed. House help caught living fake luxury life. She even wore my mom's wig." Within 2 hours, the video was everywhere on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Even family WhatsApp groups were not left out. Some people laughed, others were shocked, but the majority, they dropped comments like wildfire. Omo, even my own room no fine reach where she dey pose. So all this time, I was envying a house help. Life no balance. Another comment read, celebrity exposed. Who else feels played? How many others are faking it like this? Let's start a thread. Amaka, still clueless, was applying rub on her forehead when Okoro burst into the boys' quarters holding a phone. Amaka, your name has entered internet oh. I just saw you on that gossip blog. Over 2,000 views. Amaka blinked. Me? What did I do again? Okoro turned the phone to her. There it was. Her tear-filled apology. The shouts. The drama. All playing in HD. She screamed, Jesus! Tunde has killed me. My village people has finally found me. The fame she once faked had now become the shame she couldn't hide from. By the next morning, Amaka's face was all over the internet. The comments were coming in faster than when NEPA brings life after national grid had fallen. She barely slept a wink. And when the morning sun broke through the tiny curtain in her room, she wished she could roll herself into her bedsheets and disappear. She tiptoed into the main house, hoping to explain again, maybe even plead her case. Madam Ifeoma was in the kitchen sipping tea with the kind of calmness only rich people have when they are planning something dangerous. Good morning, ma. Amaka said softly and stammering. Madam Ifeoma dropped the cup slowly, her eyes never leaving Amaka's face. So, you now know how to greet, now that the whole world knows you're an online landlady with other people's furniture. Amaka immediately dropped to her knees. Ma, please, I am sorry. I didn't mean to shame this house. I just wanted to feel important, just for once. People treat you better when they think you are rich. And so, you chose to use my house like it's a film set? You used my wigs, my heels, even my bathroom. Did I not feed you? Did I not clothe you? Allow you to live here like family? Yes, ma, you did. I'm sorry. But nobody ever looked at me twice if they knew I was just a house help from Ajegunle. The lie just started small. Then it grew. I'm so sorry, ma. Just then, Mr. Denuga walked in with his glasses slightly tilted and the morning paper under his arm. What's all this noise in this house? Before Madam Ifeoma could reply, Zina stormed downstairs holding her phone. Mom, we just hit 5 million views. Some fashion pages are reposting it. Mr. Denuga's eyes widened. What hit 5 million naira? Zina grinned. Dad, 5 million views, not 5 million naira. Amaka's video, she's trending. Mr. Denuga looked lost, and Zina had to fill her dad in on the latest with Amaka. Mr. Denuga looked at Amaka surprised and walked out of the kitchen. Amaka wanted the ground to open and swallow her, but unfortunately, the floor had no such plans. By midday, Madam Ifeoma summoned a full-blown house meeting. She sat at the center of the living room, her face tighter than the family budget in January. Mr. Denuga sat beside her, shaking his head like he had just watched a Nollywood betrayal movie. Zina sat across the room with popcorn, clearly enjoying the drama. Tunde stood in a corner, trying hard to hide his smirk. Amaka was the last to enter. She dragged her feet, eyes puffy and red from non-stop crying. She clutched her phone tightly as though it would shield her from whatever punishment awaited. So, Madam Ifeoma began. You entered our house and turned this into a Big Brother Naija show without our knowledge. Amaka fell to her knees again. Please, ma. Please, sir. I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to deceive anyone. Mr. Denuga sighed. You could have just asked us for help, Amaka. If you wanted to go viral, at least do it legally. You are more popular now than my company's website. Zina raised her hand like she was in school. Can I just say something? I think it's kind of impressive. I mean, the angles, the filters, the editing. Sis really gave us luxury. Her mother shot a look. Zina, this is not the time for praise and foolishness. Amaka lowered her head. I just wanted to feel like I was part of that world where people like and comment, where you matter, even if it's a lie. There was a pause. Mrs. Ifoma looked at her with pain in her eyes and at the same time with love in her eyes. The next day, Amaka's story had gone international. Well, sort of. Nigerian blogs were milking the drama like fresh palm wine. Headlines screamed, "Fake life gone wrong, house help living in fantasy." From model to mop, the double life of Amaka. Internet celebrity exposed in Lagos mansion. Even a Ghanaian blog reposted the video with the caption, "Lagos girl faking rich life, this one past Netflix." Meanwhile, Amaka sat in the boys' quarters wearing a wrapper and an old t-shirt, staring at her cracked phone screen. Her followers had doubled overnight. DMs poured in like rainwater. Some people offered her small influencing gigs, waist trainers, free wigs, and one auntie even asked if she wanted to model her bleaching cream. Tunde knocked slightly on the door and peeked in. Amaka the celebrity, "Should I get you bottled water or champagne?" She shot a look at him. "You this boy, you are the reason my life scattered." Tunde laughed. "You are welcome. You now have more followers." Amaka groaned and covered her face. "What's the use? Everybody is laughing at me. Even my cousins in the village called me to ask if I now own a mansion." Zina strolled in behind her brother. "Honestly, you're wasting this moment. You should flip the scandal, make a success story. People like a good comeback." Amaka blinked. "Come back to what? I have nothing, no house, no job security, just mop, broom and shame." Zina grinned. "Exactly. Start a vlog. From fake life to real hustle. Let people follow your journey." Amaka paused. The idea sounded crazy, but also brilliant. Tunde added, "Plus you already know how to do angles and edit videos. Even if na broom you dey hold, just package am." Amaka couldn't help but smile a little. Maybe, just maybe, her crash landing was the beginning of something new. 3 days later, Amaka, with the help of Tunde and Zina, launched her new Instagram page, The Real Hustle with Amaka. Her first post was a selfie in the kitchen, mopping the floor with a confident smile and a caption, "From fake life to real life. Let's start again. No filter. Hashtag hustle with Amaka." To everyone's surprise, including her own, the post blew up. People flooded the comments. "This honesty dey enter my bone. I dey follow you dey go. Na this kind realness we need. You go blow my sister. At least you're not living the lie anymore. Respect." By the end of the day, she had over 8,000 followers. Zina was in charge of managing her page, coaching her on hashtags and aesthetic consistency, whatever that meant. Tunde, of course, claimed to be her unofficial content director and even brought her his ring light from school. Madam Ifoma watched it with weary eyes. She didn't exactly forgive Amaka, but the girl's determination amused her. "At least she's not using my bathroom again," she muttered to herself. That same week, a small skincare company reached out to her for a collaboration. Amaka screamed and danced around the compound. "They want to send me their cream for free. Me wey dey use shea butter and prayers." Grandma Adenuga, who had been silently watching from her Kane-supported throne, chuckled. "So now people are paying for truth instead of lies. The world must be ending." Mr. Adenuga lowered his newspaper. "No, Mama. The girl just turned shame into hustle. That's talent in this generation. And so, the househelp, once known for fake luxury, was now gaining real attention for her honesty. The same mansion she used to lie with was now her set for reality. And this time, she wasn't acting. Amaka's life had taken a sharp turn, and for once, it wasn't headed straight into embarrassment. Every day, she posted something new, videos of her sweeping with inspirational quotes like, "Even the dust has purpose." She showed how she made meals for the family, added funny skits with Sunday, and occasionally wore one of Madame's old discarded dresses, with permission, of course. Her follower count climbed like a damper on the third mainland bridge. Soon, people were tagging her as the most relatable influencer in Lagos. She started receiving small payments for shoutouts and ads, even went live with a popular comedian who praised her for her rebranding. But just when things were starting to look good, wahala knocked, this time in her DM. One evening, while relaxing in her small room with boiled corn and groundnuts, she opened a message from an unfamiliar name in her DM. "So you finally blew. But I remember when you used to beg for meat at the booker. Hope you haven't forgotten where you came from." The message read. Her heart sank. Another message followed immediately. "I have videos. Don't let me remind your fans what the real fake life looked like. 100k or I post them." A minute video clip popped up on her phone. Amaka dropped her corn. She immediately called Zina, her voice shaking. "Zina, somebody is trying to blackmail me. He has old videos of me from when I used to be broke. Zina replied with a sigh. "Girl, we all know you used to be broke. You went viral for it. What's worse than mopping in a borrowed wig? But this one, I was dancing in an abandoned kiosk, wearing my auntie's church dress. If you post it, people will laugh." Zina paused, then said, "Amaka, maybe it's time you own everything. Don't hide your past. Post that video before he does." Amaka blinked. "You mean disgrace myself before he does?" Zina chuckled. "No, I mean control the narrative. If you are going to be real all the way back, kiosk, dress and all." Amaka stared at the wall, thinking, maybe Zina was right, but posting that video would be the boldest move yet. Amaka stared at her phone. The message was still hanging on her screen. She could feel the weight of it pressing down her chest like a 100-pound stone. How could she just share the most embarrassing moments? Could she really turn it into something positive? She paced the room, mentally debating with herself. The videos the blackmailer had were from months ago, before she even dreamed of a better life of meeting their denugas. It wasn't just old videos though, it was the truth. The version of herself that felt invisible, desperate and ashamed. The version that had made all those mistakes, tried to fit into a world that didn't want her. She didn't want that person anymore. "Amaka, listen to me." Zina's voice came through the phone again. "I know it's hard, but we are in an era where everyone has skeletons in their closets. You don't need to be perfect. Just be honest." Amaka swallowed hard, glancing at her reflection in the cracked mirror hanging on the wall. The woman staring back at her wasn't perfect, but her hair was frizzy. Her clothes were a little too worn, but she was real. She wasn't hiding behind filters anymore. She wasn't pretending to live life that didn't belong to her. "All right," Amaka finally whispered. "I will do it." Zina cheered. "That's my girl. Go on, own it, Amaka." Amaka took a deep breath and clicked on her camera. She pulled up the video where she was dancing in that old oversized church dress. She felt ridiculous even looking at it now. But that was who she had been. That was part of her story. She hesitated for a second before hitting post. The caption she wrote was simple but powerful. I wasn't always this put together. I've been embarrassed, I've been broke, but I kept going. This is me, the real me, no filter, real hustle, growth. She hit post and watched her follower count increase instantly. The comments poured in almost immediately. I'm literally crying. This is so real. Thank you for showing us you are human too, a comment read. Respect. This is why we love you, Amaka. You've been through the hustle and now you're shining. A queen in her rights. Don't let anyone shame you. You are an inspiration. Amaka couldn't believe it. What she saw as shame was encouragement to others. As hours passed, the video picked up even more attraction. Even the scammer watched it in disbelief as Amaka turned the very thing he had planned to use against her into a badge of honor. That night, as Amaka sat on her bed scrolling through the comments, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. She wasn't hiding anymore. She wasn't pretending to be someone she wasn't. And just like that, she was just more than a house help. She was an influencer, a symbol of resilience, and most especially, she was someone who had turned her past into her power. The following morning, she woke up to a flood of new messages in her DM, many offering her paid partnerships, modeling gigs, and even media appearances. It wasn't just the money or the fame that mattered anymore. It was the fact that Amaka had found the most valuable thing she could ever own, herself. We all can't start from the top. Some started from rock bottom, some are still at rock bottom. But while waiting for the miracle, the breakthrough, make something good out of the ugly situation. Be truthful and honest while at it. Amaka wasn't honest at the beginning, but she was lucky to have their denugas. They were an understanding family. Others might not be as lucky to have a family like their denugas, and the consequences of their actions might be severe. A saying goes, when life gives you lemons, turn them to lemonade. This story is specially dedicated to everyone going through a rough path in life. Sometimes, we can't even share what we are going through. Other times, we doubt if truly there is light at the end of the tunnel. Hey lovelies, hang in there. This storm too has an expiry date. Believe me when I say this. This too shall pass. I personally love you and I'm rooting for you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till I bring you another educative and inspirational story, God bless you.